to try to get Gerald too. I have to try to get Gerald too. Okay. Yeah,
You need just one. I see you looking, but you are to impress. Now your drop time is the best. It's the Bianca Burwell show. You gonna listen for what you've been missing. She asked, who you got for your radio job? I changed one. From an you look like was you sleeping on the way? I'm saying, and I told you that I had one on the weekend. Not in a good way. Out with the hour. Beat drops radio. Beat drops radio.
What did you get? Did you get a letter or a phone call?
Actually, this is a young man that do a lot of stuff in Toledo. He seen something that he posted. It was a murder case that took place in Toledo, and the mother called me for help. I can explain it on here.
I wanted to bring it in to you.
Okay, that's cool.
You are tuned in to the Bianca Burwell Show on the TheBeatDropsRadio, your top 40 pop and R&B station, the new beat of Atlanta, also on 93.1 FM in Toledo, Ohio. I have, sitting to my left, your right, if you're watching, Antonio Wolf in the building. What's going on, man?
Oh, yeah. How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling great.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Man, I've been
working hard myself.
I know.
Dude, I've been running all over the city. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure you have.
I am so tired,
You're like Sonic the Hedgehog right now. My tail's at.
Man, just trying to get some stuff done, and we got some events coming up, and I'm really excited about it. Starting on tomorrow, we have Mike Gilchrist with VS Endeavors, and he has the singles dating audition event that's happening. It's going to be at Empire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's starting up. And I believe that is 32 and up. Am I right?
Yeah.
At Empire,
grown and sexy.
2671 Centerville Highway in Snellville. That's where it's going to be. At Empire Lounge. So that is for 32 and up. And then on Monday, so this coming Monday, it's going to be at Front Row Sports Bar and Lounge, I think it is. That's right over here off of, it's in Newark, matter of fact. On Eastern Industrial Boulevard. That's for 25 and up. So looking forward to that. And can't forget the 90s, the biggest 90s throwback party that's going to be happening at Karma, promoted by yourself, myself.
Oh, yeah.
Metro Boys.
Come out with your Gumby haircuts.
You said the Gumby?
The Gumby haircuts. The wedge, the Nino Browns.
Jones, and, a couple of those promoters we get together now. We're doing this thing. So all the guys are in free before 10. All the ladies in free before 11. Make sure you get there good and early. Just saying, it is Karma. And it's at Stone Mountain on Hairston.
Oh, yeah.
And then our special in-studio guest today.
Gerald Rose in the building.
Founder and CEO of New Order National Human Rights Organization. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. We got a show today. We're going to be talking about Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou. She passed away on today. And we're going to be playing some of a few of her moving pieces. We'll be doing today. We're also going to be talking about Elliot Rodgers and his crazy self and the aftermath with that and more. So give it a look right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. We're going to kick it off with Layla James. Tell me if you love me.
I love you.
We'll be back. I should let you keep that thing going.
Maybe the hardest part is if you teach, you have to live your teaching. You can't say you do not as I do, but do as I say. No, no. You have to say, I'm doing my best to live what I teach. I have a painting by Phoebe of a group. She calls Sister Sophie's Funeral. And they're all the women, there are about 9 women, and they all look like women in my grandmother's prayer meeting group. So whenever I'm obliged to do something, I take that painting and I look at that painting. There's an empty chair. And I think, now what would Grandma do? What would she say? I can almost hear her voice say, now, sister, you know what's right. Just do right. You don't really have to ask anybody. The truth is, right may not be expedient. It may not be profitable, but it will satisfy your soul. It brings you the kind of protection that bodyguards can give you.
I had a chance to see her.
Try to be all you can be, to be the best human being you can be. Try to be that in your church, in your temple. Try to be that in your classroom. Do it because it is right to do. See, people will know you. And they will add their prayers to your life. They'll wish you well. I think if your name is mentioned and people say, oh, hell, oh, damn, I think you're doing something wrong. But if your name is mentioned and people say, oh, she's so sweet, he's so nice, oh, I love, oh, God bless her. There you are. So try to live your life in a way that you will not regret years of useless virtue and inertia and timidity. Pick up the battle. Take it up. It's yours. This is your life. This is your world. I'll be leaving it long before you under the ordinary circumstance. You make your own choices. You can decide life isn't worth living. That would be the worst thing you can do. How do you know? So far. Try it. See. So pick it up. Pick up the battle and make it a better world. Just where you are. Yes. And it can be better, and it must be better, but it is up to us.
You are listening to the Bianca Burwell Show, and that was an excerpt from Dr. Maya. Just Do Right is the title of that. Just do right, y'all. That's all you got to do, just do right. And I thought that was very moving. What do y'all think?
Oh, powerful. I had a chance to meet her in person at Dr. Joseph Larry's celebration about 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And wow, at least you could say I seen her in person. Mm-hmm. So I was a part of history that night. So when I heard about the situation today, we have lost another pioneer. Mm-hmm. You know, we just lost Nelson Mandela as well this year. So there. But the question is, what we're going to do as a community. Mm-hmm. You know, so they led the way for us. So we must continue to do work in the community. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that, so they can at least rest in peace and say, hey, at least somebody's picking up the torch. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are we losing all these good people? Why are we losing somebody like Chief Keef or something? Like, really? I'm just saying.
Really, dude?
Yeah, really.
What do you think about the piece?
It was beautiful.
Yes.
Touching people.
Yes.
I think that more people need to listen to it and get in tune to what she has to say to the message in itself.
You know, there are some things that we kind of get into the routine of listening to. I like to go outside the box. You know, I hadn't heard anybody play, you know, Just Do Right. And coming up later, we're going to be listening to The Mask, which I thought was really, really powerful. And, of course, Still I Rise. Got to do that.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Got to do that.
It's a famous one, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
But you got to bring it home, okay?
We'll do that. You know, so Maya Angelou, of course, she was born April the 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri, writer and civil rights activist. Maya Angelou is known for her 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, which made literary history as the first nonfiction bestseller by an African-American woman. In 1971, Angelou published the Pulitzer Prize-nominated poetry collection, Just Give Me a Cool Drink of Water, for I Die. She later wrote the poem On the Pulse of Morning, one of the most famous works, which she recited at President Bill Clinton's inauguration in 1993. Angelou has received several honors throughout her career, including 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work nonfiction category in 2005 and 2009. Look, she did a lot.
Oh, yeah. And she had a movie. She
directed.
Directed on
documentaries and
her biopic of herself.
She did a lot of stuff. She, I think she also appeared in Alex Haley's Roots. In fact, she played a role as a grandmother. She did. I saw a clip of that, and she was telling.
Which one? The Generation or the
original Roots?
I saw the clip. That's all I could tell you. I saw the clip, and when I saw it, I was like, I didn't even remember. You know how sometimes as time goes on,
right,
and then you go back and look at something that you had seen and you didn't realize that that's who that was, you know, and I was like,
I'm trying to think.
Was she the one with
Angelou?
Just go on CNN. I mean, just go on there and you'll be able to see it. Matter of fact, CNN has it. If you guys haven't had that opportunity, they have that running, I believe, all day. It's on
it should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
On their
homepage. That's right.
You see it on their homepage.
BET should be running some too.
Yeah, they should.
Bounce. What else we got out there?
Bounce,
TV1. All of them.
Aspire.
Right.
Centric. All of them.
She's an icon.
Yeah, a major one.
Right.
You know,
bigger than whatever the hell they playing now.
She's one of those that when she spoke,
people listen.
Automatically.
That's right.
Choice buttons.
The amount of, if y'all don't mind us chatting for a second,
okay, that's fine.
You know, when she's done quite a bit in expressing the type of life that she had coming up. You know, she was the first to admit, saying that in the early years, her and her mother didn't have the best relationship. But later on is when they grew to have a very close relationship. And, you know, that's something that's noted that she talks about in her childhood all the time. It's not something that is out of the ordinary. We're talking outside of our necks because that is part of the experience that she had. That's part of the experience that she shared with all of us, is that you don't have to stay basically there. There is more, but you've got to want more. You know, she gave us so many quotes. But as she got older, and her mother was dating another gentleman, and she ended up being raped by this man. And she spoke about it, and they ended up beating this man down and killing him. And she felt as though her voice was the reason why the man was dead. So she stopped speaking for 6 years.
Wow.
She said during that 6 years is when she went within herself and she found poetry, an expression of words. And initially she did the expressionism, if you will, through dance. And if y'all recall seeing some of the pictures, and you may or may not, but you might see it after this, you know, of her dancing in quite a bit. I mean, she was in Porgy and Bess. She toured with that way back in the day. But her desire for the written word just wouldn't go away. So as we saw, or as we read, you know, all of the things that she began to write, I believe that she realized that that was more powerful than anything as far as representation and just talking to us as if we are her children. She had a child, her son, who changed his name to Guy, but but she had him when she was 17. And she expressed when she was about to leave home, she said her mother had a huge house, a 14-room house. And she had, you know, people there to help her. Her mother did. And she said she was 17 with her child, and she said, "Mother, I am about to leave." She said, her mom said, "You gonna leave my house?" She said, "Yes, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to this particular place, and the landlord is going to be the babysitter." She said, "You're going to leave my house?" And she said, "Yes." She said, "Just know this, when you cross that threshold, know that you've been raised. Know that you know right from wrong." I thought that's powerful. And she said, "But always know this, you can always come home." And she said every time that she left and when she had to come back, there was no judgment, there was none of that. But her mother was like, "Oh, baby is home." And she would pick up her son, her grandson, and say, "Let me fix you something to eat." And I think that that's powerful because she was always permitted that. She said her mother never once said, "I told you so." Never once. She always welcomed her home. She said, but one day when she left, she named all of I'm talking about her mother, named all of the powerful women that she felt had influence and impact in her life. And she said, "You are one of them." And she said she thought about that. And she was riding away on the bus. And she said, maybe my mother is right. She was 22 at the time. She said, maybe my mother is right. Maybe I'm supposed to do something. Maybe I'm supposed to have an impact on others. And it ended up, of course, that being the case. And she said her mother actually freed her. Her mother liberated her, is what she did. And words are just very powerful, and I say that to say this, that, we've got some craziness that we're going to be talking about later, but words are powerful. Words can be spoken, actions can be spoken, and they affect people in a way that we really don't realize sometimes, and it could be for the better, but when you talk to somebody, and I'm talking about focusing on negativity, telling somebody they ain't gonna be nothing, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be nothing, ain't nobody this, ain't nobody that. It shouldn't be a shock when it manifests itself, because you've said it so much, and it's almost like you are rooting for the failure of someone,
Right.
Rather than doing the things that you do, Gerald, going over and talking to the kids,
Right.
over at Ambassador and giving them that hope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's where I'm at with it.
Right. Wow.
So you're going to miss them.
Oh, yeah. But there got to be another one coming up.
Yeah, man, there's
got to be another one coming. That's why I like to go out and speak to them kids, to the students, because it could be another next Maya Angelou. You never know, so we can't give up. I went to the graduation that they had over there. It was real nice. And one of the young men was incarcerated. He just got out. He said, "Mr. Rose, I can't go back." He's going to get a summer job at McDonald's, he told me. But he's not getting support from his mother, and I'm very dissatisfied with that because they got to work hand in hand.
Right.
He's trying to change his life, and the mother keeps saying, "You're not going to be nobody." So we're their second voice to try to keep this young man focused. So it's kind of hard right now. But he said he's got a job at McDonald's, going to be working for the summer instead of going out there trying to hustle and do it the negative way. So we got to stay on top of our youth.
Yeah, we do.
We got to.
So they need some type of positive influence because there's so much negativity out there.
Well, I need to be shown that direction. Man. Sometimes taken from a troubled youth yourself.
Right.
There's so much negativity out here, and there's so many directions that can spew. And when you're actually being fed all of that negativity, those pessimistic attitudes, you really feel trapped. You feel that you have no choice but to do those things, and especially when you don't have support. You don't have that support from the people that you feel that's closest to you. That's right. You feel that you're on the wall, that you have no choice but to do this, that this is going to be your outcome, and that special. I assure you that if I had another voice in my head, I wouldn't have had to suffer near about as much as I had to learn the things that I learned, but I didn't. So, everybody that was close to me, they had their own troubles, so they really couldn't focus on me or what I was, or the battles that I was facing, So people really need to realize that, and it actually bothers me when people, like you said, that you had somebody from your hometown actually call you or send a message to you.
Try to call me out saying that I don't have no business of doing anything to me. I'm like,
and different people from all over talking about you're making trouble. You're making trouble.
Right. When I hear things like that, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
But even, you know what I told him, God bless him, or whatever. It's just the fact why we can't work together as a community. I received a phone call yesterday. It was a murder case that took place in Toledo. and the mother claimed that her son wasn't involved. So we at least got to listen to what's going on.
Of course.
And I seen the young man, he posted something about a couple. So I just posted, said that we got to, we're doing our own investigation about it. So he was like, you know, why are you even trying to invest this case? You know, this city is going out. Basically, he was saying that no one in Toledo do not care no more, and I'll be wasting my time. I'm like, but he does stuff himself in the community.
Really?
Yes.
So
I have no
I'm
idea.
confused.
Me too. Very confused. But I told him that I didn't say nothing negative because I'm very humble. You know, I could have went ghetto with him.
You're lucky I don't work for you.
Yeah, but you know, but I have staff members in Toledo. They upset. You know, so I just told them, you know, we're gonna do anyway because we get a lot of phone calls from Toledo that we resolve cases behind the scenes. This man don't know that. So you go call me and say, don't be doing nothing else. And just like when my dad was there, when they felt that they ran him out of town, which was not true. So I'm going through the deja vu what he went through as far as like when the ministers was hating on him. So I am going through that right now. It's just the fact that they're frustrated because there's no leadership there.
That's
In
terrible.
the city of Toledo.
You
You know, so God my witness, we get a call from Toledo, man, probably every other day from Atlanta. So when I see that, I'm like, wow, you just don't know what we're doing behind the scenes.
People like to assume.
Right. You know, I pick up the phone and talk to the chief of police. He'll call me back, and he will give me information. They don't know that. So when I see that, I'm like, you know, you really don't know what's really going on.
Do you feel there's a bunch of people there that's trying to be more chiefs than putting
Of course,
their proper
that's
roles?
basically what's going on. That is basically what's going on, and it's just sad that the way the city of Toledo has went, the gang violence, you know, and I try to start a chapter there, you know, and people quick to talk about what's going on, but they don't want to get involved. And a lot of people are scared, you know. But all I do is pick up the phone, talk to the chief of police, he'll call me back and let me know. Things can be done, just we cannot work together. You know, it kind of aggravates me, but I just keep going on and on. But you know what? We just planted 2 more seeds. Houston, Texas, and also Treasure Coast, Florida, has came on board for New Order.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, that's in between like Miami so God is really blessing the organization. I gotta give a shout out to my New Order family from across the board, whoever listening in today. You know, so
Long Beach, California, Douglasville, Little Cross, Stanford, Texas, Atlanta.
It's not easy, man. But you know what? I'm gonna get that stuff. You know, because we're growing. But you know what? I just hired security too as well.
Hey, man.
Jokes aside.
You've got to use wisdom with the thing.
Right. I'm one step ahead. Actually, we went out. I went to a house party, old school or whatever, and he went with me because some people just comes up to me, you know, and say good job, but you never know. Some people might not agree with you doing
Exactly.
as well. So he was supposed to come today, and he was going to just trip y'all out. But he's on my Facebook page or whatever. Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, he's from Albany, Georgia. And he was supposed to come there, he couldn't make it. But any like road trips or business trips I take, he's there with me. He can carry to license to carry.
All right.
So
you gotta have it.
So this Saturday he's gonna be with me. I'm invited. That was a late invitation. I'm gonna be speaking in Atlanta, and he's gonna be here right with me.
Okay.
All right.
So
you gotta have it because you don't know what people have when they.
Right. But I'm scared to get a gun myself because I mean I might have to use it. I don't remember my dad having a gun in the house, and you know what he stood up for. And I'm actually scared to get one personally because I might have to use it. You know, but people are like, oh, you need to get a gun to protect it. I don't even think about that, but I do understand.
Do you fear sometimes that you might even have to use it on your own people?
Of course, that's the haters.
Because it seems like you're getting more backlash from the people that you're trying.
Dr. King and they all went through their own people. You know what I mean? To be honest, I ain't worried about the other people. It's your own people you gotta worry about. When I first came to Atlanta, I had my meeting. They had a so-called organization sent a police officer to one of my meetings. It was portraying that he was in a certain organization. He was wired up. I haven't really, yes. Yes. That's when I first got started. Can you imagine now what's going on? You know, because we're growing.
Right.
You know, so it always our people. Always. And I don't understand it. You know, we unite about what happened to Maya Angelou. You know, at the same time, niggas we still fighting each other, not getting along. You know, so I'm praying for the brother in Toledo. You know, I told him keep doing what you're doing. I didn't say nothing negative. I let my people know what was going on. but I didn't go on my public. I did make a public statement on, where's the unity at? So, but that's what goes on. That's not just Toledo, but everywhere. But I can tell you, my trip to Oxford, Mississippi, man, them folks are on fire.
Are they really?
Yes, my organization on fire. What happened was, matter of fact, remember we had the town hall meeting in Oxford, and my understanding that the local president had tried to reach out to the chief of police on the follow town hall meeting. They never called her back. My secretary made one phone call from Atlanta saying that we are demanding a meeting to meet with the local people there. A meeting has been set tomorrow at 3:30, and I'm going to conference in because they promised to have a dialogue with my organization up there because of the continuance of roadblocks and racial profiling, and they're not used to that in Oxford. So basically, we made a history, on that. So I just want to give a shout out to to Tracy Williams and to my local chapter in Oxford for continuing to make history in Oxford because man, this is something. It's new, it's in order. They're not used to that. So that's going to take place tomorrow at 3:30. So I'm going to conference in from Atlanta.
Now, Oxford is real small in Mississippi, right?
Right. Then we're going to Somerville, Georgia, outside of Albany, do the same thing. So I'm hitting these small towns. They're not used to this.
Yeah, it seems like the small towns is what
That's correct. They do their own rules.
Yeah, because they're easily overlooked. Right. You can do some stuff behind the scenes and kind of get away with it in a sense. So it seems like they're the main ones that get taken advantage of.
And chief of police and his brother hold major departments. It's a family thing.
That was the son.
Correct.
The son.
His son is the father's the chief of police. His son is the sheriff of the jail. So it's a family thing, and they've been in there for years. My question is, okay, people need to get out and vote. Thinking of voting. What you think about that?
Dude,
we talked about that.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Let's bring it up.
I went to vote in the primaries. I knew I was going to be voting. I even put a little video,
You expected a long line.
I was like, I'm about to, stretch it out. I know I might be here for a little while. It was no one there. I walked straight in.
And straight out.
Yep. That easy. And, but you know what, too? I had heard the predictions.
22%? I'm hearing that right? It was something.
Yeah, real low.
Wow.
Real low. I'd heard the predictions about what they felt the voter turnout was going to be like. And the thing about it is, my brother Rodney told me this a while ago. And I didn't think about it until he said it. And that's usually how it works. Somebody says something to you, then you think about it.
Right.
But he said, if people want a change, instead of just rallying just around every 4 years when the president is elected, you need to be thinking about that every 2 years. That's when the Senate and Congress and all of that, when those changes take place.
That's right.
So we forget all about that. And we only want to vote every 4 years, but every 2 years, you can put people in and take people out that aren't doing the things that you feel they're supposed to do, or put people in that you feel is like, at least somebody can do something. We know they're politicians. Politicians are going to be politicians. Right. But at least go out there and vote to try to make some type of a difference rather than staying at home like, whatever.
That's right. And that's what's going on.
In real life.
That's basically what's going on. Matter of fact, Mark Bell talked about last time. You just go in there and just pull any lever.
Right.
You're not paying attention on what's going on.
Not at all.
So don't just complain. And like I said, I'm tired of rallying and stuff. That rally don't change things. It kind of assemble people. But when you're pulling that lever,
that makes all the difference.
Right, knowing the laws and stuff. So what we're going to start doing is teaching people the laws. Have town hall meetings like that, give them some education.
They gotta know. Folks gotta know. And when I put that video up, it was interesting to me. When I put that video up, I had just finished voting. Went to the car. I was like, I know that everybody that's watching this video right now, y'all ain't even voting. Yeah. You can come on. It don't even take but 10 minutes, maybe, for you to go in, vote, and walk out.
That's right.
That's it. And I got a whole bunch of like on Instagram, Facebook, and retweets on Twitter. And then one person said, oh man, I missed it. I said, no, you still got time. Go ahead and roll to your regular spot.
Came with excuse, didn't you?
That's why I get frustrated when I go out, because I go out every now and then. I be thinking to myself, I went to this house party, right? It was like we was like in a mansion.
Oh, really?
My spokesman set it out. Derek Henderson and sister had a party house, but it was old because once I know who they are, comfortable. I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how many people in here are registered to vote. I really wanted to stop the party and grab the mic while they was doing karaoke, having fun. I really wanted to. I said, no, let me sit back. But I really wanted to do that. You know, and I catch a lot of people didn't go out and vote.
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't.
That reminds me of a good story from Chicago. This older woman called Dorothy Tillman. She used to be really active in civil rights as far as Chicago and things like that, and with Jesse Jackson and things like that. But what she used to do when it was time to vote, everybody from the Ida B. Wells was this major project around the city, around her region, in her area. What she used to do is get school buses, like about 5 to 10 school bus loads of people from Ida B. Wells, all registered voters, and bring them down to where you vote at, to a voting place, and have all of them vote, then take them right all back. She'll do that around the city.
I wonder if we're doing that today. I know the People's Agenda does a lot.
I don't know, but she ain't in there no more. She's not in there anymore, but when she was, that's what she used to do that every year. And one year that she didn't, that's because they tore down the projects. You know, of course they do the city reform, so they tear down the projects. Right. They tore down the projects, and that's the year she lost. Right. Yeah, we need very.
Yeah. Just a lot going on, man, but we can't give up. You can't give up. But at the same time, sometimes I get so frustrated. Like this T.I. and Floyd Mayweather to bring that up.
Yeah, we can actually.
It's sad where this situation happened, and just all my Facebook, every other thing, Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, okay, to me, it's not exist. To be honest, there's more things to worry about. Really, the T.I. and Burgess personal things, I didn't even pay attention to that mess. You know, but hey, that's what we focus at these days.
Why y'all fighting for? Y'all got money.
Well, I know they're going to fight, but why we on the outside paying attention to this mess? Because what they're going to do is going to make them richer. T.I. going to make a song, talk about what happened. You run out there and buy their music, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think we're sidetracked. We're very sidetracked.
You know me,
real issues what's going on.
You know me, I'm a government conspiracy theorist. So I'm like, okay, this must be a plot for the government to take our mind off of something important that's going on.
Hey.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think it's a plot from the government. But however, it's a distraction.
It is very distraction.
It's a distraction. Is what it is. Right. And it just goes to show
Chinese government mode.
A lot of these different places and folks as far as when it comes to branding and marketing, it's very interesting how it's shifted because what they recommend, and of course my head is on my pulses, I'm going to take a pulse of that because that's part of what I do, is to put things out there that basically is a surrounding entertainment drama and what's going on with entertainment is in order to bring them into whatever message you got. So somebody put Jay-Z and Solange fighting. You'll click on that, and then you can get them into what it is that you want to talk about. That's what that
mess. I ain't worried about that. You talking about in the elevator?
Yeah. So talking about things like that, that will draw somebody's attention more than it would until someone is directly affected. When you're directly affected by something, then it's like, hey, look what's going on. They don't want to pay attention until you're directly affected by something.
But you know what affects me?
What's that?
My best friend said that his daughter came up to him at 6 years old and said that she want to set up a lemonade stand in front of her house. You know, I said, that's a future entrepreneur.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I want to hear. You know, and that's amazing, man, when she said that. So that's the stuff I like to hear. I like to hear that, you know, she didn't come up to us and say, Daddy, can I turn on Xbox today? You know, she wanted to set up a lemonade stand, sell some lemonade, you know, to the community. So that's basically, she's starting, that's the Maya Angelou, just the people they're looking for, you know, and keep them on the right track. You know, so that's the things I like to hear. But I'm telling you, this other stuff, I don't even want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. But again, as the media, I know you got to report it. You have to report it.
We'll glance over it, you know, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention like other media does.
Right.
You know, and I understand that can work against me. You know, I do understand that. Right. You know, so I'll have to mention some stuff, you know, but folks want to hear a whole bunch of drama. I don't want to talk about that all the time. Right. You know, and I don't want to leave it to somebody else. You know, you know, I want to be one that does. Matter of fact, we're gonna come right back. Keep it like right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. Robert Glasper, somebody else. Keep it.
Listen up, guys. Hey, guys, listen up. No one should ever hit a woman. Not their wife, not their girlfriend, not their date. No woman should ever especially not from someone they know and trust.
Look, they like big.
Violence against women
You see that? He was gonna get that whole first.
speak out. Okay.
Have a great personality. Connect well with people.
Get behind them when they should.
You know what's making a great show.
Yes, they will.
They can take the Beat Drops Radio and email your YouTube links, website, and contact information to TheBeatDropsRadio@gmail.com to set up an appointment today. At we're gearing up for the new year and expanding our network to include interesting, creative.
You seen when Dave Chappelle did a skit about Diddy's making the band?
We are
Dave Chappelle was a fool.
He had the bodyguard on the dress. He had him on the back. His dress was like, oh, that's how you gonna do the show.
She get that serious look now. Look at her.
You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on the TheBeatDropsRadio. Your top 40 popping R&B station, the new beat of Atlanta, and also 93.1 FM in Toledo, Ohio. And who I have with me today, our special in-studio guest, is founder and CEO of New Order, National Human Rights Organization, Gerald Williams.
I must apologize to my secretary, Tracy Scott. She doesn't live in Atlanta. She's in Toledo. So I apologize. Matter of fact, she listened to the show. But I can tell you, Tracy is one. She make things happen. She get me indoors that I have called I could not get in. So Paul Howard, Ron Anthony situation. You know, so I don't. She's a bulldog. I don't even ask her what she says. Next thing I know, I have a meeting set up with the chief of police, with the sheriff department. So it's just a team that I have from the research Lucy Diaz to my chief of staff. Matter of fact, Derek Henderson. I want to pray for him because he's going away for 30 days for the military.
I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all, something happened and you ain't telling me about.
So he's going to be in California for a month. So we're going to miss him. But someone else, San Diego. But somebody else steps up.
Okay.
You know, so that's the good thing about it. So it's just the fact that we're just like the NBA. You know, when you have a starter hurt, somebody off the bench comes in. That's how we roll.
All right.
I must say, before we proceed, the call-in number. To call in, just in case you have a comment, question, anything like that, that's 404-826-9223. And just in case you're not by a tablet, your phone, or not by a tablet, or you don't have a smartphone, or by a computer, you can easily call in to the listen number, which is 401-347-0418. So just in case y'all want to tune in, check us out.
Good job.
Thank you.
You see how he stepped up?
Yes.
And you just kind of sit back?
Yeah.
And also, you can also watch live as well. You can go on Facebook and hit the link. As a matter of fact, excuse me, I'm sorry. Go on www.TheBeatDrops.com and hit the watch live.
TheBeatDropsRadio.com.
That's what I said.
No.
I said something like that. Okay, excuse me.
It wasn't the right thing.
www.TheBeatDropsRadio.com and hit watch live, and you'll be able to see everything that's happening on in the studios and listen to us live at the same time.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, y'all, craziness that's going on right now. If you haven't heard already, please make sure that you there's nothing wrong with staying in tune with what's going on in the news. Actually, that's the best thing to do, so you know exactly what's going on. And Elliot Rodger was a 22-year-old disturbed individual. That,
to say the least.
Disturbed individual that his father was a Hollywood director. His most notable work was he was on a team of directors as far as with the Hunger Games, and he tried to do another project. Talking about his father, tried to do another project. It took like $3.1 million to produce, and it only made $38,000. So
wow,
you know that was a major flop for him. Now, Elliot Rodger, apparently he felt as though the type of life that he had and he was going through life, and he felt that he was denied certain pleasures. He was denied by the females. He felt that not wanting to have sex with him was a crime. He said that, and he wrote a huge manifesto, just describing all of the hatred and you know, all of the things that he felt was just jacked up.
Right.
And I mean, obviously you got to be extremely disturbed, because to write that much about you being upset about something, you know, I don't know too many people that can go beyond 3-4 pages.
Yeah, he wrote a 137-page manifesto. Wow.
Yeah, so that's a lot of writing, a lot of hatred that you are, you know what I'm saying? And apparently he was seeing, or that his parents were trying to seek help for him. I don't know how adamant they were about it. The police were called in one case, and they went to the house, and they talked to him and described him as being very pleasant young man. We don't see where there's any problems with him. But what he says is, he goes back and he writes how he tricked them, and that had they walked into his room, they would have seen everything.
Wow.
Just if they had walked in. Now he was an awkward looking dude, and if you ever see his YouTube videos, and they are readily available online, just type in Elliot Rodger and you'll see some of the rants that he had. I thought about playing one, and I said, nah, that's not necessary. Y'all go look it up. And this crazy laugh that he has, saying that he was going to basically execute everyone that had anything to do with looking down on him and treating him terrible, and any of the sexual advances that he tried, and they laughed at him, they shut him down. He was going to make them pay. He said what campus he was going to go to, that he was going to go to the sorority house or of these young ladies. He said the hottest sorority house, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to kill everyone.
Wow.
And he said then after he leaves there, then he's going to go out on the streets and just shoot everybody that he sees and that he saw, and that is exactly what happened. He went on the campus, he went to the sorority house, and I believe he killed 6 young ladies there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't heard of this. What campus did he go on?
This was it USC?
How long ago was this?
This was just last week.
Oh, okay.
Just last week. I want to say it was Thursday or Friday.
And just to clear it up, he said he pretty much left 6 dead and 13
at the sorority
injured.
house.
Yeah, 6 dead and 13 injured. 13 others injured.
Yeah, and then he went up to the streets, you know, and just was shooting. He was shooting up their favorite spots where they ate, convenience stores.
Wrong place at the wrong time, huh?
Yeah, he was going everywhere, and of course, you know, he had a shootout with the police, and finally, you know, his car, when they got to him, it was a gunshot, you know, to the head.
Self-inflicted.
Don't know.
Oh, okay. So
Because
he killed himself?
Not sure, because there was a lot of gunfire.
Okay.
You know, but he definitely had a gunshot to the head, and that was it.
Now, this might be a crazy question. What race is Elliot?
Well, he's mixed with white. I don't know what his mother is.
I was going to say.
Okay, now, I'm not being racist here, so he was giving everybody a warning.
Yeah, he gave everybody a warning. He put up several YouTube videos.
Okay, now why did it come and get this guy, or if he was putting up warnings? Because this is going on. You know how many campus shootings that we had?
A lot of them.
You know, and he giving up warnings like that. They should take that. So basically, nobody take it serious. So he actually, you know, that's what goes on.
Yeah, that is what happens, and you know, one thing I wanted to read on here, by his own admission in his
137-page manifesto.
This one says 41, but manifesto, Rodger was always a jealous child, and it seems one who was used to having others satisfy his desires. Writing about his mother, Leechin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Leechin, they call her Chen Rodger, a nurse from Malaysia. So there you go. Who once dated producer and director George Lucas. He stated on page 21 of his manifesto, "Mother always got me what I wanted, right when I wanted it. At my mother's house, all of my needs were met with excellent precision." And he wrote on page 34 about his maternal grandmother. "Alma is just like my mother. She always knew what I liked and went out of her way to get it from me. He was very spoiled, and he wanted what he wanted when he wanted it."
Was he the only child?
It seems that way.
Okay.
And, you know, he was like, look, y'all need to be talking to me. Why are you not finding me attractive? And he says this in his videos, that it's a crime. Why are you not attracted to me?
Wow.
I suffered. He said, I quote, and I suffered through college. I made it through college. I suffered, and I'm still a virgin. This is ridiculous, and I'm going to execute judgment against all of you all, and I'm going to be your God as I gun you down.
Wow.
Dude was disturbed.
So this was all in his documents.
Yeah, his documents and his
videos?
videos.
Dude should have went to Las Vegas. Man, dang,
His videos. You know, so
no one took it serious, like I said. No one paid attention.
well, it says that his parents went to the police, but it seems like, you know, it was a little too late. Dude was already on a
Oh, different level.
yeah.
Okay.
He was on that track. And look, this is ridiculous. Now, people have their rants that they go on, trying to garner attention, if you will. And there's this one individual, and I listened to what he had to say. I listened to everybody. And he said, Elliot Rodger is liberalism at its zenith, something like that. But what he was saying is that this dude is mad because he's upset with others. Now, you brought up the word racism.
Okay.
All right. There is a article out there right now saying, was this racist? Because the comments that he made about the white girls that he could not get, and him being half white.
Okay.
He says this now. I'm not making this up. He was aggravated that the black males that were receiving sex
from white
females, and he was like, how could you go to these ugly black boys?
Almost sound like Donald Sterling.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean,
I was thinking the same thing. I was about to say it too. It beat me to it.
Right.
So there are some that are like, you know, was this a racially motivated thing too?
Right.
Was he aggravated by that? But to me, it looked like he just was aggravated by absolutely
he was jealous.
Everything.
Yeah, very.
Right.
You know,
Jealous, felt very inferior, and he
but that was self-inflicted. Stop walking around looking crazy and
jealousy is self-inflicted.
I can't believe I missed this. And you said this happened last week?
Last week. Major. I mean, of course, the fallout is still, the aftermath is still happening. I think they're going to start the funerals here in the next couple of days. The funerals will begin.
Now, I did hear about the other situation about the actor killing his wife in front of his kids.
Yeah, that was crazy too. Apparently, he had what is his name?
He was arguing over some money or something.
Johnson. But he had a serious problem, and his ex-wife.
Well, they was divorced. I thought they was together.
Well, he was married, but his first wife, he had their son that weekend.
And seen everything.
Now his son told his mom, "I don't want to go over there," and she was trying to convince him.
Wow.
She was trying to convince him that's your dad. He's not going to cause any harm to you and all of that. And that just seemed kind of interesting to me. Why would you say that? But then after reading on, he saw all the violence that took place with his dad and his mom. So he didn't want to go. He was scared of his dad. His dad did that bullying type situation, you know, as far as with him. And
with his own son?
Yeah, with his own son.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because we received a phone call where a young man goes to alternative school.
Yes.
He's afraid of his dad, you know, and he be talking to him like he's a grown man, you know, and actually he took a knife one day with him because the mother sent him over to his dad's house, but the mother didn't know that. So he had a knife. He was that much scared of his dad, so he took a knife with him over to his dad's house, but the mother found out, and so she tried to grab the knife. The mother did from the young man, and he ended up, it was an accident, ended up stabbing her in the hand. So when I hear them things, that's very serious. I mean, he took a knife with him because he was afraid of his dad. Yeah. So what you just said right there, man, it's really going on, not just in the celebrity world.
Exactly.
You know, it's going on here, you know.
I mean, they just, believe it or not, I don't see why I can see why people kind of separate them, but they're really no different from us.
That's right.
They're just in a different tax bracket.
That's
Michael Jace.
That's right.
His name. Michael Jace.
That's the picture.
Huh? No, that's the picture of
Life going down the drain. Now, my understanding, he killed his kids in front.
He killed
Yes,
his
his wife.
Wife in front of the kids.
Yeah, they were there.
Wow.
Well, he killed his ex-wife, right?
No.
No,
His
his
wife.
wife.
Currently.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they were, because his first wife was given an account as to, you know.
I think they were
their
arguing over
son.
some money or something. They were
Crazy.
saying.
You know,
Wow.
so they were on the Huxtable's block. Apparently, you know, the Cosby Show, the 1980s. You remember when that was on?
But you know what? It's no excuse, but you never know what's going on in person.
No, you don't.
Like that Tiny and T.I. thing, we don't know what led up to that. They might have been having personal problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you let the whole world know, because Stephen A. Smith commented on that from ESPN.
What did he say?
He was like, you know how he is. He was like, why are you telling the whole? I guess they was tweeting and all that.
Yeah.
You know, he feels that certain things should be personal.
It should be. He kept
You know, it's not
private.
none of our business. Like when Tiger Woods got in trouble with this.
Lord.
I didn't really, you know, that was personal.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when you're in the public eye, that's
All it takes is one tweet.
that's right.
One swing at a golf club.
Matter of fact, was social media back then when that happened not strong as it was? Not really, really strong.
Yeah, it was
right?
strong. Yeah.
When Tiger Woods first, okay.
Yeah. It was still strong.
You know, but
I think at this point now, it's a little bit stronger.
Yeah,
That's why I
real
think that
strong.
It's been getting
because-
stronger throughout the years.
Yeah, I think now because when stuff happens, they immediately go to those celebrities'
Right.
social media
like the
sites.
King family still value each other. To me personally,
How you doing, South Africa? We appreciate you joining us. Go ahead.
wow, South Africa.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the King situation, right? I asked the national president, Mr. Charles Steele, his opinion on what you think about the King family going back and forth about the Nobel Peace Prize, trying to give it away. He was like, to be honest, it's personal.
Yeah.
It should be nobody's business.
That's a family
But the
situation.
media, you know, just running with it, you know, so you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you know. But me personally, you know, why would you want to give this Nobel Peace Prize away in this Bible? At the same time, I don't know what's, you know, it's a part of history. It's sad on why would they do that, you know? Because before Yolanda died, you know, Yolanda and Dexter was battling Martin Luther King III and Bernice. Now Martin Luther King III and Dexter's battling Bernice now.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, but that mom was alive. She really kept them together.
Yeah, she did. She did.
You know, so
All that foolishness, they were like, look here now.
it is straight foolishness.
It's ridiculous.
You know?
Just to clarify with Michael Jace, his wife April, she was 40, and
young.
Suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the upper torso.
Wow.
And
You
that
knew
was
what he
about
was doing.
8:30 in the evening.
Wow.
And the two children, both of them are younger than 10 years old,
They gonna be
were inside.
affected
He
by
hated
that,
her.
man.
He hated her. That just.
And them kids gonna be affected for the rest of their life.
Yes, they
You
are.
think?
Yes,
What
they are.
happened to him? Because I'm not.
I mean,
too
he
clear
was
on
arrested. It's still happening.
Right.
You know, of course he was arrested. So
Now,
this whole
was
situation
his
is still
kids, were they girls or boys?
no, he had one son, and then with his first wife, and
this. That's the picture right there.
this is a picture of
Somebody else here, his wife.
yeah, no,
Okay.
he
So you had girls too?
I think that was a little girl.
I mean, either way, it don't
See,
matter.
she might
man.
grow
The
up-
kids just, either way, it don't matter. They both gonna be affected, dramatically from this.
Right.
You know what I
Her
mean?
son, she had sons too.
Wow.
So you know, it just crazy. And it says that her sons had only been home about 15 minutes after baseball practice
So he set that stage up.
before he killed her.
I don't even think he cared.
He probably invited his son over that weekend to witness all this. The one that's, you know, that got a baby by his
So you
ex-wife.
think it was premeditated?
It sound like it. It
His
had
first
to be.
wife, Jennifer
What she said.
Bittering. Yeah, but she was saying that, you know,
They had problems like that too.
yeah, they were having issues. Of course, she made it out of that whole that marriage, but she saw the flare-ups that he had.
Wow.
You know, was like, man, it's crazy. And obviously, their son saw it too. That's why he didn't want to go.
Wow.
And in 1997, November, during the divorce filing from his first wife, that Jace allegedly threatened to kill her if they went to war over his visitation rights with their son. Also, in that filing, you know, a friend of his first wife, who lived with the couple, informed the court that she was in the room when Jace choked and hit her and slammed her against the wall while her son screamed in his crib next to her. And at the time, their son was only 6 months old. So this isn't something that's, you know, that's new. he did file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy in 2011, saying that listed more than $500,000 in liabilities against $325,000 in assets. I don't know if that's true or not. All these, residuals actors get from sitcoms and checks and all that. I think he just basically just.
A lot of these celebrities, they might have money, but they be so miserable.
Yeah.
We will never know that. They be so miserable. They have all the money in the world, but you don't know this.
Money
Living that life sometime, man, it's not good.
No, it's not.
The money's good, but you never know what they're going through.
Money does not make you happy. It creates opportunities for happiness, but it does not make you happy ultimately.
That's right.
Which leads me to something that I want to play, Maya Angelou, a piece that she wrote, The Mask. And I thought it was really, really powerful. We'll keep the audio up on the video here. But, if y'all just, we're going to keep the audio up. Yeah, we'll keep the audio up for this one. And I'm pretty sure you enjoy it the same as I did. Keep it like right here on the Bianca Burwell Show.
Who got on the bus in New York City, and she used to just laugh. The bus stopped, she'd laugh. If it picked up somebody, she'd laugh. If it missed them, I looked at her and I thought, that woman is not laughing. She's simply extending her lips and making a sound. That's a survival apparatus. Laugh when you aren't to itch when you don't itch. So she can keep my people alive. So I wrote a poem for her. I use it with Paul Lawrence Dunbar's poem Mask and my own poem for Old Black Men. This is it. When I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life has been one great big joke. A dance is walk. A song is spoke. I laugh so hard, I nearly choke when I think about myself. See, 70 years in these folks' world, the child I work for calls me girl. And I say, yes, ma'am, for working's sake. I'm too proud to bend, too poor to break. I laugh so hard, my stomach aches when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laughed so hard I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit, but eat it. I laughed so hard, I started crying when I think about myself and the little children. And then we wear the mask. The grins and lies, it shades our chits our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts, we smile and mouth myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears inside? Nay, let them only see while we wear masks. We smile, but oh my God, our tears to thee from tortured souls arise. And we see, all the clay is bowed beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world think otherwise. We wear the mask. My fathers sit on benches. Their flesh count every plank. The slats leave dents of darkness deep in there with the flame, and they knock like broken candles, all waxed and burnt profound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission that made your world go round. They laughed to shield their crime. They shuffled their dreams. Say, step and fetch the country, and wrote the blues and screams. I understand their meaning. It could and did derive from living on the ledge of death. They kept my race alive by wearing the mask. Wearing the mask? Wearing the Drops Radio, that's right. On Thursdays, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays, noon.
My cat.
See, now, I've been invited to be at the King Center on June 26th. It's wow, for the 50th anniversary of the Economic Opportunity Act of Civil Rights.
Make sure
Man, that's
you
powerful.
Sunday morning. For Sunday morning,
Sure you don't want to
right here on.
How much you paying? How much you paying? So eyes get big, right?
Sunday morning, inspiration right here on the TheBeatDropsRadio, 9 a.m. Make sure you tune in. Download the TuneIn app everywhere you go. Win the app right here on the station. Stream radio, we are available. Make sure you get the inspiration that you get. You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on the TheBeatDropsRadio, your top 40 pop and R&B station, New Beat of Atlanta, also 93.1 FM in Toledo, Ohio. The calling number is 404-826-9223.
And the listening number is 401-347-0418, just in case you're not by a smartphone, tablet, or your computer. You can easily call in, listen to us, and also watch live. Go on www.TheBeatDropsRadio.com and hit that watch live button. You'll be able to see everything that's going on in the studio.
Coming off the bench. Got the starter right here coming off the bench.
That's the point guard on the shoe.
Again, we have a lot of events that are coming up. On tomorrow, VS Endeavors, Mike Gilchrist, we have at Empire Lounge the Singles of the South Date audition, and that is at 2671 Centerville Highway, Snellville, Georgia, and that begins at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So, the Singles of the South, and that is for the 32 and up crowd, 32 and up on this Thursday, and on Saturday. It is the biggest 90s throwback party that's happening in the city.
Bring your Gumbies. Go to the barber shop, get your nice little hairdo, wear the big loop earrings, get that Gumby, that wedge right there, just right and tight.
My husband better not come You can get you some cross colors, wear that.
Yeah, bring your Malcolm X leather jackets.
Oh, man.
Remember them jackets.
But that is going to be at Karma Bistro Lounge, and that is in Stone Mountain on Harrison, formerly Echelon 3000. All guys are in free before 10. All of the ladies are in free before 11.
Make sure y'all get people registered to vote.
What?
All the folks gonna be at that party. How many people voted?
I'm about to bring up members only jackets. You talking about voting? What?
Hey, see how many people? Hey, tell them to show your registration card when they go to the vote. Yeah.
I won't be doing that. They just showed it to me on the way out.
You'll always play.
They need to give me that on the way out.
Y'all laugh because you know I'm telling the truth.
And make sure we make that money. So show me on your way out.
Can't even have a good time around you. Always trying to talk about some stuff.
I know.
So that is on Saturday, May the 31st. The hottest 90s party. So if you're in and around the Atlanta area, make sure you stop through. It's also going to be a live broadcast. 104.1 will be in the building. Derek Harper will be hosting, and this is going to be a hot party. I'm looking forward.
I'm looking forward to not being
So
sober.
I might need to go to this.
You might need to go, man.
I
I'm
might
telling
need to
you,
go.
it's going to be.
I like old school music.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's the
boy.
type of music where you
KRS
dance
One.
the whole time.
Right.
You be like, oh,
Houdini, Run DMC.
I'm going to need you to lighten up when you come, dude.
I will.
I'm going to need you to loosen up.
I will.
I mean, don't be on the dance floor talking about what's up, baby. So you got your registration card? I'm trying to do the running man talking about if you register to vote, baby. Well, get out my face.
You got a problem.
But it sounds like it's going to be good.
You want to talk, baby? Talking about you don't need your ID, you just need your registration card at the door.
It's going to be straight, though. So make sure you guys come on out and celebrate with us. And then another big thing that I got going on is on June the 21st, Big Laughs Comedy Series. Big Laughs Comedy Series. It is going to be featuring Kiana Dancing of Bounce TV, who's got jokes. She's going to be hosting it. MC Lightfoot is going to be in the building.
You got me excited for
Yeah,
it.
we got. He's going to be in the building. I'm telling you, if y'all haven't seen MC Lightfoot, he's hilarious. He tours a lot with
MC
Lightfoot.
Okay.
He's in, how you doing, Alex? People saying hey on our Q&A we have open. But at any rate, if you haven't seen him, he tours with Angie Stone, Anthony Hamilton, Frankie Beverly and Mays. He kills it.
Right.
And so he'll be there. Also, Kenny Miles and the Point Blank Band. Kenny Miles of the Blue Boys, that is my dude. And he is going to be in the building. They're going to kill it at the end. And we have another actor. I mean, well, he's an actor and comedian, Rob Mager. He's going to open the show up. So it's going to be a hot to death show. It's going to be at the Georgia Perimeter. Well, I don't want to say Georgia Perimeter because I didn't mean anything about that. How about this? The Georgia Performing Arts Center. Gwinnett Performing Arts Center is where we're going to be. Okay. All right. And that is June the 21st. Tickets are on sale right now. So just go to GwinnettCenter.com and you can purchase your tickets now. $20 is all it is.
Only
$20.
And
that's going to be a great experience.
Well, I'll be out of town on business on that.
Dude.
I'll be in Jackson, Mississippi, hosting the youth rally.
But you know what, though? It's a series. It's a series. Okay. So that means that there will be more to come.
Gotcha.
You know, this is more than likely going to be a sellout event.
Gotcha.
So just saying, get your tickets.
And I'm working that event, so just in case anybody see me and wants to save me a drink at the end of the night, I'd appreciate it because I can't drink.
We're gonna check you.
Yes, I can't drink while I'm working. But you know, after I'm done, you know, just I'll throw that out.
Oh my goodness.
Need help.
Oh my goodness. So with the whole situation that's happened with Donald Sterling and his wife, I'm pretty sure that there was documents stating that Donald Sterling was allowing his wife to be able to negotiate the sale of the team, the Clippers.
Correct.
And now all of a sudden, apparently Donald Sterling is vowing to fight that situation. Wow. I don't know what that has overturned.
So he renamed on that?
Well, I mean, this is a developing story, you know, and but another.
How old is Donald Sterling?
He's in his 80s.
See, now it's to the point now. I don't even anything he say. I don't take him serious. He's probably getting Alzheimer's right now. Like Magic been saying, it's to the point now. Whatever he say is jokeable.
Don't bring up Magic around though. You
know how much stuff Magic did in the community, and he come out and said, I'm like, wow. But anyway, it's to the point now. It makes me laugh on anything he says. But I know Mark Cuban came out and said something.
So what I'm going to do, rather than us just recap it, I'm going to play what Mark Cuban had to say in his interview with Inc. So this is what he had to say, and then we'll, you know, chime right back in. Is that cool?
That's cool.
All right, so let's do that real quick.
You know, in this day and age, this country has really come a long way, putting any type of bigotry behind us, regardless of who it's towards, whether it's, you know, the LGBT community, whether it's xenophobia, you know, fear of people from other countries. We've come a long way, and with that progress comes a price, where we're a lot more vigilant in and we're a lot less tolerant of different views. And it's not necessarily easy for everybody to adapt or evolve. I mean, we're all prejudiced in one way or the other. If I see a black kid in a hoodie and it's late at night, I'm walking to the other side of the street. And if on that side of the street there's a guy that has tattoos all over his face, white guy, bald head, tattoos everywhere, I'm walking back to the other side of the street. And the list goes on of stereotypes that we all live up to and are fearful of. And so in my businesses, try not to be hypocritical. You know, I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I live in a glass house, and it's not appropriate for me to throw stones. And so when I run into bigotry in organizations I control, I try to find solutions. I'll work with people. I'll send them to training. I'll send them to sensitivity training. I'll try to give them a chance to improve themselves, because I think helping people improve their lives, helping people engage with people they may fear if they don't understand, and helping people realize that while we all have our prejudices and bigotries, we have to learn that it's an issue that we have to control, that it's part of my responsibility as an entrepreneur to try to solve it, not just to kick the problem down the road, because it does society, it does my company no good, it does my customers no good, it does society no good if my response to somebody and their racism or bigotry is to say, it's not right for you to be here, go take your attitude.
All right. Mark Cuban.
I don't see where people got offended at.
Yeah, I didn't
because he said that if he was walking on the side of the street, if he seen a black guy with a hoodie, he'd cross the street, and then he said if he seen a white guy with a hoodie with tattoos, he'd walk back across the street.
So he was more afraid of the white guy than he was.
So how can you compare that with Donald Sterling comments? Because some people did try to compare, but he did apologize to the Trayvon Martin family because it kind of.
It seems somewhat insensitive at the time.
Right.
It's like a too soon type of thing.
Right. But
I don't see it, but
I don't see nothing wrong with it. And you're right, because everybody's racist in some kind of way.
Yep. You got your prejudices. We all absolutely.
I'm not racist. I just like everybody equally.
But it's true, because we talk privately, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
You know, maybe I'm being taped.
Wait till you get some money.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with what he said. Seriously.
No.
Because when I first heard about it, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I heard about the hoodie, I automatic, But now I'm really listening to what he said. Even Stephen A. Smith, a lot of people, it ain't like he came out and was laid like Donald Sterling said.
Actually. Now
he came out this morning on ESPN saying that we shouldn't rush to judgment on Donald Sterling. I have a question on that. So that's where I'm kind of.
Well, you know what? Something he said, Gerald, during that comment, when he said that about sensitivity training, things of that nature, that kind of gave way for that.
You're trying to want people to forgive. I'm telling you, that's what they're setting up. They're trying to forgive what this man said. That's what he's setting up. He said him and Sterling are best friends.
Well, in USA Today, there's a quote here from Don Sterling's, his legal team saying, quote, a jealous rant to a lover never intended to be published cannot offend the NBA rules. So he's going to fight this situation. He's going to fight it, regardless.
But would you want to play for him?
Never.
Think about it.
Not never.
Even if he fight it, you under contract, I wouldn't even. I'm glad
that contract is
you
up.
think Chris Paul probably got they lost. I ain't gonna say that, but.
They probably feel that the contract is already made. They got next year.
What free agents gonna want to come there?
I think they saying that. I think they kind of more relieved, if anything, that we ain't got to be bothered with this no more. Let this play out.
They got to play next year because they under contract.
Yeah, the contract.
But by next year, this will be resolved.
I love my homeboy LeBron James. He's been vocal.
Now I've been hearing that LeBron has said some things.
Yeah, he's been saying that he want the family out of it. And he's willing to next year to do what he have to do. He's representing Ohio, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just joking, but I know. See, LeBron got money. I understand. Yes. He makes a lot of endorsements off the court. A lot of athletes don't do that, but at least he's taking a stand. Yeah. Being that voice, because you remember back in the day when you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. What's the guy who used to play for the Cleveland Browns? Jim Brown. And they sat around this table because they used to unite back then. They used to stand up. And we ain't taking it or whatever. But you don't see that today in our black athletes. You don't see that today in nothing. Yeah, but they stood up back then. This is one picture I have actually on my page. This is how it used to be. So hopefully LeBron is trying to bring back that old school. Let's kind of unite. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
You got a point there, Gerald. Not only was it the athletes, but it also was the entertainers. The singers.
Yes. Sammy Davis Jr., Stevie Wonder.
To play where there was Jim Crow, they was like, man, you gonna play here, and this is, we can't even.
Right, and what's the guy?
Quincy Jones.
Not Quincy Jones. Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
I seen his movie. Remember?
Yeah.
He was in Lion or something.
Right,
and the guy was
Quincy Jones had kind of put that bug in his ear.
Then they set him up at the same time. Remember they came into his room, but you don't see that today. Now you remember the rap group when they had all of the rappers were saying stop the violence. You see that today?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. Why they don't do that? I mean,
feminizing themselves.
right. I mean, you had Dougie Fresh, MC Light,
Miss Melody, KRS-One,
Kumo D. Remember they was in it, Self-Destruction.
I played that the other day too.
Right. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, maybe we need to play that before we
Well,
go off there. If you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah. But you don't see that today. You don't see it.
Nah, man. Because they feel, nowadays money.
Heavy D.
Ain't no money in that.
Right. So we gotta play that, Bianca. When we go to break. We got another break over this.
Yeah. We can make one.
Okay.
Learn today.
At least we could be old school today. Yeah.
Because we still got.
You just can't wait for Saturday. You just can't wait for Saturday.
We still got that one more. Maya Angelou, Still I Rise.
Okay.
We still got that rolling. So I definitely want to make sure that.
Why do you think that the rappers don't want to come together and they can make money off it?
They ain't enough money as they making.
Well, how now? They make more money now than they did back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, didn't Dr. Dre just sign something with Apple?
With Apple, yeah, $3.2 billion.
Sell the rights off, right?
Yeah, they got beats now. And he gladly said, I'll take that check. Thank you.
Wow.
$3.2 billion. He's the first billionaire hip hop artist.
But I know he was scrutinized on why they gave money to USC and not to the, black colleges.
I feel like scrutiny is going to come regardless, whoever you are.
That's true. You can't please everyone. Like the president, you can't please everyone.
So even if he was to give money even if they were to give money to a black college, it would have been scrutinized for that to go one way.
Right.
So, I mean,
or saying it's not enough. You have Bill Cosby that constantly donated money to the black colleges.
Oprah Winfrey?
Yep, always. Yeah. Oprah Winfrey paid for so many young men to go to Morehouse. Did you see that when they did the like a tribute to her when she her last final shows? It was so many men. It made me cry. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell, she was crying too. Everybody was like, yeah. When they were showing all of these young black men coming out with candles, I gotta find that, put it up.
You need to.
Coming out with candles of all of the young black men that she sent to Morehouse. Wow. It was absolutely fun. And that's not something she publicized. She never even said anything about that.
I never knew it.
But she sent a great number of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that being said, let me do this real quick. Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. We're going to keep the audio up. And we'll be right back.
That one night I remember the fear of pain or loss or disappointment. And yet each of us that's awakened and risen somehow made our ablution, seen other human beings, and said, morning, how are you? Find things in you. It's amazing. Wherever that abides as a human being, there is the nobleness of the human spirit. Despite it all, black and white, Asian, Spanish, Native American, pretty, plain, thin, fat, loud or southern, we rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of times, just like hope springing high. Still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down my teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I lied. as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, right? Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Living behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally,
classic. Self-Destruction. That BDP, Step the Sonic, Kumo D, MC Light, Dougie Fresh, Just Ice, Heavy D, Chuck D, and Public Enemy, Miss Melanie, KRS-One. Golly.
Who do we have? Who do we have today? We just talked about. Oh yeah, I mean, it's certain stuff I can't even understand what they're saying.
It's just we just don't.
We had so many to choose from back then.
Yeah, we had. I mean, it was endless. You know, LG and the Bulldogs, Tupac also. You know, he came in later on.
Right.
You know,
Biggie.
Biggie.
No.
You know, originality was a must. LL Cool J, he was doing his thing too.
Right. I'm bad. I remember that.
Yep. That joker was skinny as all get out with a kango, no shirt on, and his red sweatpants.
But there was no foul language. Nope. Run DMC.
All of their music, you know, was created to entertain and to educate. So then KRS-One, he just coined it with edutainment. You remember that?
Right.
Edutainment, where he could talk about a whole bunch of stuff, and you know, the music, it didn't have to be beat, it didn't have to be edited. It could be played in any medium at any time.
All
on radio, TV,
right.
That's what they made it for. Now, artists make music specifically for YouTube. You gotta bleep out every other word. You know, to try to get a clean song is like, what is that? What are you talking about? Clean.
Right.
We pose to cuss. That's what we pose to do. Right. Trap music, and that's what it is. Trap music is a trap.
That's right.
It'll only keep your mind in one particular stance.
Right. Shoot somebody up.
Yeah, that's it.
Disrespecting our women.
So talking about something that's positive and being positive and encouraging, you know, that's what we had. We had a lot of encouragement, and music was positive. But, you know, think about James Brown. I'm black and I'm brown. Say it loud. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of the artists that we're talking about sampled James Brown music.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
They all did.
He came out with a battle king, too.
Yes, I saw that when I was downtown at the Jazz Festival. By the way, I did go to the Jazz Festival over the weekend. It was phenomenal. And I encourage anyone, whoever has the opportunity to go, please go next time that they do that. And while I was out there with all the thousands of people, because good God, it was thousands of people.
That's how to the vote.
You know.
This guy.
Thousands.
Yeah, I know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth.
We're talking about a good time.
You know, but I did see that you know, that they had a movie that they were promoting about James Brown, and I'm looking forward. I think it's called Get On Up.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that.
You and me both.
I'm looking forward to seeing that because that looks like it's going to be a pretty hot movie, because that individual, he himself, he went through a whole lot. He had a lot of trials, tribulations. He also had triumphs. You know, and I remember seeing him when I was in Augusta one time. James Brown walking down the street.
Yeah, he's from Augusta.
From Augusta. I said, Mom, that's James Brown. She was like, what?
He had a perm.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I was like,
I don't think it was called a perm. I think it was.
That's who Michael Jackson idolized.
No,
that's dance.
That was called a comeback.
No, you going too far back. That's too far back.
That's who Michael Jackson idolized. He was dancing.
Yeah.
That was his man, boy.
Idolized, you know, James Brown.
But you don't see that today.
Nope.
You don't see that.
The originality is not encouraged. You know, being an artist is not encouraged. You know, it's just crazy. But you have some announcements. I want you to go ahead and share with the people before we go.
Well, just basically, if anybody wants to be a part of a change in the community, contact New Order at 1-800-346-5138, or you can visit our website at www.nonhro.org. A couple of road trips are coming up, Bianca. Just let you know that on the 21st we're going to be in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm leading a youth rally. Then on July 4th we're going to be traveling to Lima, Ohio. You remember Chico Vaughn? They used to do basketball camps back in the day.
That name sounds really good.
His son has took over.
Oh, okay.
You know, and he's doing a basketball camp in Lima, Ohio. He invited me to be the keynote speaker.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what's up. Yeah, so a lot of great things coming up, you know, and a lot of, you know, I've been invited to do some things at the King Center, matter of fact, on June 26th. So that's the blessings that's coming our way. So we must be doing something. So when I get criticized every now and then, more blessing comes. You know?
That's what Maya Angelou was saying.
That's right.
Just do right.
That's right.
You know, your reputation. When people mention your name, if they say, "Oh hell, oh damn,"
you
know you were doing the right thing. But when people are like, you know what, doing some things. That's
Troublemakers
that's what we're
coming.
gonna be.
My grandmother always said that if you ain't got a hate into it, somebody talking behind your back, it's something that you ain't. Something
That's
right.
right.
that you ain't doing.
That's right.
As long as they keeping their name in your mouth, they keep on. That's right.
You can't be in this busy, you worry about somebody talking about you.
Yeah,
This is the wrong business.
you really can.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to us on today. Tomorrow we got some more stuff coming up. Also, I'm going to be inviting the promoters with me. I'm about to say producers, but promoters that are promoting the event, the 90s throwback. So they'll be coming this week. And tomorrow at Empire Lounge, Thursday, that is VS Endeavors, Singles of the South. That is going to be going on every Thursday. Every Thursday, starting at 8 o'clock. And I'm excited about it. And I'm also excited about that June 21st. Big Last Comedy Series. Big Last Comedy Series. And it's going to be featuring Keon Dancy, Rob Minga, and MC Lightfoot. And Kenny Miles and the Point Blank Band. I'm telling you, they're going to kill it.
We gonna dance.
Yeah.
You gonna get up and jam.
So if you haven't done it already, make sure you go to our Facebook page and like us. Go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com and click on the F.
We ain't talking about the finger.
It'll take you right there, and you can click like, share with your friends, tell everybody. Follow us on Twitter at BeatDropsRadio, and also my Instagram handle is Bianca_Burwell. Real quick, Antonio Wolf.
Yo, you can catch me on Facebook at Antonio Wolf, and also you can catch me on IG, which I'm mostly on, at Love True Production.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. And also, I appreciate you, Mr. Gerald Rose, for coming through. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
You got your voter registration card?
It was good like that at the end.